Good afternoon and welcome back to another episode of The Longing. Unfortunately, my headache is still here, so yeah, that's a thing. But we are going to continue our slow march to the exit regardless, and I am just going to deal with it today. So, once we do get back, we're going to obviously wait at the door until the next episode, because otherwise we'll probably get to the door right at the end of this episode anyway, meaning that if we try to walk home to our little cubby hole, it would take us 7 or 8 minutes, something like that, meaning that we'd then effectively be doing another episode on top, which with my head the way it is, I don't particularly want to do. But I'm going to keep doing the daily releases regardless, because I'll be letting myself down, if nothing else. So, I've been drinking a bit more water, well, a decent amount more water, eating a decent amount more, to try and see if that'll help. It'll probably take a bit of time to catch up. So hopefully in the next few days it goes away, this headache. I really don't want it to last much longer if I can avoid it. Obviously the less time the better, but oh well. One thing to note is we need 92 more pieces of paper, which means we need to come back in here after 9 more times minimum, if well, provided I've counted up correctly the number of drawings left to draw, meaning that we'll get through 9 more books in total, at least. But then after that we are going to have to just sit and read books or take a couple of days wander between books, like click the walk to a random place button, see where it takes us in the 10 minutes between episodes. Just do that a few times for a few days for a bit of variation, so that we're not just reading books all of the time. I mean, it was fine when it was Moby Dick, although we did end up taking a few breaks in the middle of that as well. But with Moby Dick, that was a long book for this, certainly for this game. I think in total we ended up spending about 140 episodes on it, maybe more. I'm not sure exactly, because there were definitely a few in the middle, in and between, where we weren't just reading Moby Dick, where we did go and did come to the Halls of Eternity and collect paper. So there is that to consider as well with the Moby Dick time. I am still editing it down. It's taking me longer to do than I would like, just because I keep getting sidetracked or forget. In honesty, I forget, or I'm not in the mood to do it. But that is, I do need to do it. So if you want to see that pester me, I'm more likely to do it if I'm being pestered. So just type Moby Dick or something in the comments, and it'll spur me on, or remind me, because I do forget. I have a pretty poor memory. There is one bit I need to do as well. I need to re-record a paragraph of Moby Dick, because I apparently missed it while I was reading. So that's an awkward one. So I need to re-record. I need to record a paragraph to add in to a spot within the within the video, which means I have to do it when I'm back at the chair anyway, which is also putting me off a little bit. That mental thing of, oh, I need to do this. Not even awkward thing. It's not time consuming at all. It would take no time to do whatsoever. I just need to do it. So any coercial into doing it would be grand. I don't know whether we'll hit the door today or not. We might get close, but then we might have to finish it off in the first minute or two of the next episode, which is fine because we then still have the rest of the episode to get home, which we'll definitely be able to do. So I'm not too worried about that. Not too worried about that at all. I run out of things to say. I always do this. I'm not a very talkative person normally, so I never really... I'm very bad at maintaining conversations. Face to face, at least. It's something I do struggle with. Holding that conversation. I don't have topics that I can just pluck out of the air. Annoyingly. I've never been very good at conversation. I can do it, but it's never been a particular skill of mine. With streaming it was alright because I could literally just describe what I was doing on screen and sort of talk my way through the rationale of that, which always gave me something to talk about. And then if someone had a question or was chatting in the chat, chatting in the chat, who would have thought? Chatting in the chat, I'd be able to respond to that and sort of follow along with that, because for some reason streaming hits different when it comes to conversations. It's a little easier, in all honesty. Which reminds me, I do need to get back into streaming again. I'm probably going to start streaming again in earnest after the new year. I may do a stream before then on Twitch, but I'm not 100% sure if I am actually going to do that. So I guess watch this space. No. No, I do need to stream more. I need to get back into it because I did enjoy it. I've just been very low on energy recently. Well, I say recently, I mean like the last 6 months or so. The worst part is that I don't really even do anything that would particularly cause a substantial use of energy. I think it just goes back to the not eating enough issue, which I'm trying to work on. Oh look, the door. Hooray. Right, rather than going through the door, we're going to wait just before the door so that tomorrow we can go through it and then head home as the episode. Because if we go through the door, we'll just end up running the clock down more, which I know it doesn't really matter because we can turn back time, but the less we run it down, the less we have to turn it back. Because turning it back takes time itself, time and effort. But anyway, I'm going to say thank you all. Thank you all. What's the words I use? I cannot remember. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, or night, no matter what time of day it is. I hope you all have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.